First, I gave Eraserhead 5 stars. Great film. Then Mulholland Drive, 5 stars. Great film. Lost Highway, a little more divisive, but for me, 5 stars, great film. And now, I'm also giving 5 stars to this wonderful, touching, heartfelt, completely awesome black and white drama, The Elephant Man. I hadn't had access to this, and it was out of print with the Criterion, so I did pick up this Studio Canal version, and I believe you could probably play it in a 4K player without region locking, but that having been said, this felt like opening frames the whole time. I was into all of it. Like, I never once wasn't into it. I love the opening shots where we see this woman who's terrified in these elephants. If you know the historical context, that makes that make a little bit more sense, but some of that dreamlike quality of Lynch is shown in those shots and other shots. But what I loved about it was that Lynch understood that he couldn't do too much of some of what he was doing with stuff like Lost Highway or Mulholland Drive, because or Eraserhead. If he went to that level, it may not make the narrative make sense as much, and this is more of a straightforward story, in some ways a little bit more conventional, but it was so beautifully acted and so stunning on the cinematography. This Victorian landscape, society, the oil lamps, the fires burning, like, even that part of the film is underrated. This is a gorgeous looking film, and almost like there are qualities of that reminded me a little bit of the Sergei Eisenstein film Battleship Potemkin. And I just realized that sitting here talking about it, that pieces of that film kind of came out for me. But if you haven't ever heard of this film, it's just stellar. So John Hurt, so he's this man called the Elephant Man, and we see him at first in these awesome creepy shots of this circus sideshow stuff that because he has these deformities on his head and stuff, and his head's larger, and he's called the Elephant Man. And that stuff is just so well done. It builds up this sense of dread that the characters who don't understand this man feel upon initially meeting him. And I love that. You know, it's daring to do that. It's not... David Lynch could have shot that in such a way that he like immediately introduces you, but then it doesn't let you experience the emotions of the people seeing this character for the first time. And Anthony Hopkins. Now, I thought I had found my all-time favorite performance from him in Remains of the Day, which I talked about on my channel. This is going to be my favorite Anthony Hopkins film. I think. I haven't watched Howard's Inn yet. You'll have to let me know if that's even better, but wow, like just his eyes, like the expression, the confidence that he had to bring this man into, so he's a surgeon and he brings this man into the hospital and he vouches for him and says this is important that we work with this man. The love, the caring, the patience, the conflict that was really intriguing to me that I didn't expect. Obviously, there are plenty of times in this film where people make fun of the Elephant Man, they laugh at him, they see him as a spectacle, you know, to be abused, basically. But Anthony Hopkins at one point is like, am I not doing the same thing in the hospital? You know, I'm kind of showing him off to people in society. Am I sort of making him a circus sideshow? It's great. It really makes you think about that. I don't think he was, but I can see where that concern would have been. It's self-reflective. It makes that character much more likable. And as far as the actual Elephant Man, John Hurt, I mean, he's just like, you just want to be him. His love for people, his sheer kindness and thankfulness. I have talked about great movies around Thanksgiving, and I made a video on that. I actually think this might be a really good movie for that season and for being thankful in general, because this is a man who appreciates everything that he's ever given. Someone gives him a portrait, he's thankful for it. He makes beautiful art out of whatever's around him, of what he can see out of a window. And just a tremendous, absolutely tremendous performance from John Hurt. Another neat thing about this film, so Anne Bancroft is in this, a smaller role, and she like works in the theater, And I love that what happens with her character. So I love that, what do you want to say? She was in the film, the Helen Keller film. I can't think of the name of it. With Patty Duke and The Miracle Worker. And like, this is another good sort of allusion to people with any kind of disability or anything that might hold them back in life. It's as if the film is celebrating all people with disabilities. Unanimously. Especially, there's an applause in this movie. Like, I'm pretty sure I literally cried. Like, it's pretty tough to stir me emotionally like this these days without a film being emotionally manipulative, which this film isn't. I mean, it's not. Things happen that are really emotional, especially when he's bullied. There's a real scary bullying scene in this movie. A couple of them, at least. But, I mean, the growth of the characters around the Elephant Man and the way that their hearts are opened, it makes you feel like there can be change in the world. But there's a bureaucratic thing that happens where some of the characters have to sort of politic their way into helping the man, and I appreciate that. It's like using political power for the good, you know. And it's over. This is just one of the best like black and white films. It's so beautiful. So those are my immediate thoughts, and I really wanted to make a video and share them because if you have not seen The Elephant Man and you're an advocate for anybody who's down on their luck, for anybody who has some kind of a disability, whether that's physical or could be their speech, could be a mental thing, whatever it is, if you're an advocate for that sort of thing, The Elephant Man, it's very stylized, it is Lynchian to a point, but if you're into that, you've got to see it. And if you didn't like a film like Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, Eraserhead, this, like I said, is a little bit more accessible, more conventional, and I'm not meaning that in an insulting way, I just mean it's a little bit more audience-friendly for people who maybe aren't as ready for those other films, which I also love. What do you think? Did you like my video? If you do, you want to click a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. And tell me your thoughts on the film. And subscribe to Cody in the Cinema.